Thanks everybody for tuning in on a beautiful Friday morning. I'm Danny O'Malley. We got Brandon Barton, VP of Channel Sales over here. We got JB, who is over everything roofing at ESP and ESP Roofing. And yeah, we have just a great lineup of some good updates for you. We're going to go through a couple reminders, a couple minor housekeeping things, talk about where we landed with the big B Big Bad Wolf BBB, and then we will let JB take it away with some really exciting stuff on the roofing side. We've got a nice install of the week here. We were just looking through this, just went in fresh the other day, and I just like how symmetrical it is and clean and everything, all the conduits painted to match the house. It's poetry in motion, baby.
Yeah, I think all of us have our own little nuances of what we like about an install. For me, it's painting the conduit, right? Matching that, color matching as good as possible, symmetrical straight lines, 90-degree angles, hiding underneath the eave there or the ridge. And then also the low profile black on black panels. I see how close those are. You don't need bird guard in that essence, right? They're so low. So anyways, that's what stands out to me.
JB, do you have any feedback on the roof, the status of
Well,
the roof thing?
on a technical side, I can tell you if you look at the top of the panels all the way across, they're the same distance from the next row of tile, which just means that they were actually lining them up straight. Sometimes you'll see an array, and on a long array like that, it's a little cockeyed, and those are the little details that like a roofer would notice, because that's when you get on a roof and you're doing a QC inspection, that's what you're looking for: straight lines and just care and attention to detail.
I love
Yeah.
that. The longer you're in this industry, you start geeking out about the fine details. And yeah, that's great. Love that.
Yeah, fire code comes into play. You see the setback on the ridge. You can see the valley there. We had a foot and a half on that side. You want to geek out even further? Let's go. It's
Yeah. Got all the components of that's your battery backup system right there, and your nice Phase 5 piece. And just a reminder, a little teaser there too. Enphase is coming out where a lot of this hardware is going to be even more simplified and low profile. So stay tuned for that. That is all right, so we got our agenda here. Again, we're just going to knock out a couple reminders and just housekeeping more or less. Got some good news on the Tesla side, the OBBB, and then we got the roofing grand finale with JB. Cool stuff coming there. Second systems and add-on systems. We have had a few scenarios recently where a couple things came up, and so this is more just, again, an education and reminder on it. We do not tap old and new systems into the same playpen. They don't play well together. So that's why I put that there, especially if they were not installed by us originally. There can be some exceptions, I guess, if it was one of ours originally, but still, we don't like generally to tap them in together. If there's an original system and we're doing a second or an add-on, we will turn off the old one during the installation. And I think that's something that maybe some homeowners don't realize. And our SOP is obviously to turn it back on after we're done, but in case we miss it or anything like that, please extend our apologies in advance if that's an inconvenience. But yeah, that's always going to be part of the SOP is it gets shut off. We turn
yeah,
it back on.
Danny. I want to just say setting proper expectations at the dinner table is very important. And when you're doing second systems, this is an integral part of that equation. We have to turn that off. We got power feeding into the lines, and we got to make sure that nothing is impacted by that. We don't want to blow anything. Should there be something installed wrong, we want to get past inspection. We will turn that bad boy on as soon as possible. And what I mean by that is the first system, we'll turn it on as quickly as we can, but we got to follow that SOP to Danny's point.
Absolutely. And yeah, the term expansions, we also want to drop that from the vocabulary. We're really not, it's not one system that's getting bigger. These are two separate,
Very, yeah.
yep, independent. And no multi-tariff. So that's another thing that we had to change due to just some headwinds, some challenges. We were really excited when we first heard about it, and we were all gung ho, and then the tides unfortunately turned, as they say. So when we're doing a second system, it's going to be a second system that is on current net metering policy. We can't guarantee grandfathering on those, largely for these two reasons. Lenders aren't taking that multi-tariff option, and utilities are making it a real pain to try and apply for that, even though they're the ones that offer it and they have the option to. It's just been an uphill battle.
The multi-tariff, we all got excited. This phrasing was like, oh my gosh, we can keep that first system, integrate a new second, or not integrate. That's a bad word. See, I'm already falling into the trap. But we can do that.
It's a trap. It's a trap. Don't do it.
So we can perform that second system. Multi-tariff was actually a solution through Enphase. They work closely with the utilities, PG&E, SCE, and SDG&E. SCE, PG&E got approved first with Enphase only. Tesla has not done this yet. So anybody trying to do a multi-tariff solution with Tesla has never been possible. Enphase was the only one, but yeah, Enphase got it approved. But guess what happened? One more hurdle to overcome is the lenders. The lenders are not accepting of the multi-tariff solution. It gets too complicated for them to track, warranty, and we got to, whatever other reason they have, it doesn't even matter to us. That's their decision. Yeah. So if you are doing cash, this is an opportunity with ESP, but technically speaking, I think we're just holding off at this time until the utilities make it easier. Is that right, Danny?
I believe so. Yeah. Again, if you've got a customer who's got a boatload of money in the bank and they want to capture that cash tax credit by the end of the year, let's talk. Let's get after it. Absolutely. But we do want to make sure that, again, everybody on our side is also in alignment so that we can say, all right, we're getting things set up the right way. It's going to come through for you.
Yeah.
All right, Tesla. Good news. Like we mentioned, we had Enfin was first, then we got Goodleap, now we got Lightreach. So you got your big 3 TPOs ready to accept Tesla jobs with the really good Q cells. Enfin is still the only one that is offering the 430 AC pairing with the Teslas. And so we just wanted to give you, this is your little cheat sheet to use when you're in Aurora to double check that your components are all matching up there.
I think, guys, let's just pause here. The fact that we are allowing Teslas again, we got procurement fulfilled. Woo, that's a huge win. Like, my gosh. Sitting at the dinner table saying, Mr. and Ms. Homeowner, what would you like today? Oh, you want to save money? Oh, you have a Tesla car I saw in the driveway. Oh, you'd like to be able to charge that and save money and have a pairing with a Tesla battery, all to be integrated. Like, how cool is that? They really put us in a poor position last year, and we refused to go into that same bucket of business where we're in a bad spot. Yeah, procurement's not a problem. I want you to sell with confidence. If we feel like we're ever short-handed, we will let you know before, okay? So we even get to that point. Confidence in the sale. Yes, it's a little hard right now. AVLs with our lenders, there has to be certain pairing configuration. So everybody should have got that text message from the ESP. Save it, share it with your team. It's exactly this photo, right, Annie?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a link to
this very one. So yeah, if you want to go the hard route, you can screenshot this right now or take a picture of this with your phone. But you should have this as a text message. Again, make sure you're signed up for our texts and shoot an email to either Brandon or myself, marketing at Join ESP. If you're not getting our texts, I'll check into it for you. And I want to say, if I am not mistaken, that Aurora is actually making this a lot easier by actually just, if you select the financer option, it's gonna pre-populate the AVLs. Was that a recent update, Brandon? Do you remember?
Aurora, I've seen some complications. I've been helping everyone out this week. So if you get into a situation, please reach out to your company owner, whoever you work with, your manager at your company. If they have hurdles within Aurora, lean on me. I can go in there, doctor it up for you and help assist. Also, training is out there, guys. Like constant training. I have that available. I'd love to show you how to do a design. It should be automatic, but if you do see that the partner pairing or invalid equipment, any sort of error code occurs when you try to get pricing, 9 times out of 10, it's because this configuration that you're seeing on Danny's screen is not set up correctly. So just make sure you're following this. Go into design mode. That's your key, design mode. Update the panels, update the pairing of the inverter, and then you can get Tesla integration.
Beauty.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're all about trying to make it as easy as possible, streamlined from A to Z for everybody.
Absolutely.
All right. Speaking of things that are streamlined and making it easy, no, not. This is where we landed. Basically what we had talked about on some previous calls. And thankfully, I do want to start with this saying, if you helped out by contacting your legislators, your representatives, thank you, because this bill could have gotten so much worse if it wasn't for you. So thank you for your advocacy for making things not the worst scenario that they could be. We covered this again a little bit ago, but basically similar cash loans, that ITC is going away for PV systems. Batteries, interestingly, are still eligible. So energy storage, I think, again, they realized like this is a big part of the industry now, and it's going to continue to be a big part. So that part of the ITC, that's sticking around. So that's good news. That means that even for homeowners who do want to buy down the road, they'll still be able to knock a big chunk out of the purchase if they have that tax liability.
Yeah, Danny, with what you're saying there on the purchases, are we saying that ESP is accepting cash deals up until October 31st, and then that's also our cutoff?
That's just so we have a little bit of security that we can get the systems on the roof and going by the end of the year, because that's the requirement in order to get that. We will definitely keep everybody updated on those as we get closer to that date. We may be able to extend it. In previous years, Brandon, you brought this up a few times. Remember when the ITC was dropping down, not even going away entirely? There was a big rush, and that was again something where we're like, ooh, I think we can maybe push it until November, mid-November, but that was again pre-batteries, pre all this other stuff that's going on. So yeah, we're trying to be a little bit cautious, a little bit conservative for what we can make happen. TPOs. Oh, and you know what? I messed up, guys. PPA and leases. See, I'm
That's
dropping
how
the ball
quick
on
they
these
are.
slides
That's
here.
okay.
Things are just moving and grooving. So the great news, leases are back. PPAs and leases, TPO, that's going to be a pretty viable option for some time. So safe harboring is what a lot of these lenders are going to be using. I won't get into the mechanics of how that all works, but basically they're front loading and saying we can procure the inventory and do some of the pre-work on some of this. There was an executive order, of course, the day after everything, or the Monday after everything got signed. So expect maybe some tweaks in about 45 days or so. Or maybe 40 days. I can't remember. What's time anyway? Anyway, stay on your toes. That's the point of it. Yeah, again, the industry as a whole is breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. We're still eyes to the horizon. We got to make sure that we're in it together and we're doing this as long as possible.
Yeah, I like that. Just so I want to make it very clear, the TPO, PPAs, and leases are available. Now, here's the thing. One of the lenders out there, and I challenge you all to know which one, but Enfin, I'll just put it.
Yeah,
Enfin is
give
the
it to me,
only
Enfin.
one they took a proactive approach. They said, hey, listen, we're shutting down leases because the Senate rule said leases are not going to work. So we need to make sure we get ahead of the game so that way we don't let anybody down.
There, I fixed it.
Are and leases are now. Oh, look at you, bro. Oh, it's great. Leases are good. So Enfin, I would imagine, and probably within the 45 days, right? Once that they do the final ruling, Enfin will bring back their lease opportunities. Now, here's the thing. Leases are really just dialed in for those municipality areas, right? If you're outside of Edison, PG&E, SCE, SDG&E, I forget which one I just said. I had so much coffee this morning. If you're outside of those here in California, then that's a municipality. LABWP is probably going to be the greater impact for most of us thinking about leases. That's going to be live again with them. But in the meantime, sell with GoodLeap TPO. GoodLeap has that option. LightReach has always had that option too. So you guys can lean on them too for comfortability.
Absolutely. Try saying that 5 times fast by municipal utility.
Yeah,
Not gonna roll off the tongue there per se. And then, yeah, lastly, roofing. This is something that we've done for a long time, as Jeremiah can attest to, and it will continue to be a need. It does not have anything to do with random legislation that people get up in a twist about. Everybody's got a roof over their head and they need to keep it intact. So, always going to be part of, and probably a growing part of, ever growing, the industry here. And speaking of, that's why we brought JB on. So that's what we're going to talk about. We got some really cool updates and even more coming down the road here. So take it away, my friend.
Thank you. So for starters, with some things seemingly getting more difficult, let's make some things a little more easier.
Beautiful.
We have heard a lot of feedback, and thank you all that have given feedback. And anyone who is suffering in silence, please don't. ESP, the P is partners. We need to partner together. And sometimes being a good partner is telling someone when they have lettuce in their teeth or your fly is down or what have you, right? Our job is to be a good wingman to you, and we can't help you if we don't know where the pain points are. So thank you to all of those who escalated feedback to Brandon and myself. We heard you loud and clear. We went out and renegotiated a bunch of deals with our roofing partners, and some had to make offers that they couldn't refuse to some, and we had to get a little more aggressive with others and sign new deals with new partners. What you guys don't see that happens behind the scenes, there's a lot of vetting for the regular partners that we're using on a regular. And like we do hands-on QC inspections on every single job. And so we test drive people before we really open the floodgates and put them into the regular mix. And so anyone that we're using on your job has passed the test, and we have an established long-term relationship with these guys. And we were able to get spectacular new deals, and we are now extremely competitive. We're talking some cases over 10, 20% price reductions, depending on the roof type, depending on the market. Just as an example, we're at or under 600 a square for clump shingle in most of SoCal, right? That puts us in a really compelling, really competitive position. And we're working on several other things, which I'll go over some of them in a minute. Everything to put you guys in the driver's seat to be able to use roofing as a tool to open with. You can start with roofing, pivot and add solar. I think it's a lot better way. Jobs that have roofing sold at the point of sale pull through a much higher rate. Last I checked, we were over 85% pull through rate on jobs with roofing attached. If it's added at the point of sale, that goes up from there. A lot better things as far as roof pricing. You've probably seen that come through on your quotes over the last few weeks. We've been integrating that into our mix, so that's already live and it's already in our roof calculator.
Yeah, there's no worse feeling than going to a house, and as you walk up to that front door to knock, you look up and tarp, and you're like, man, I wonder what that roof quote is going to be. This is going to impact the sale, but rather than think of it as a negative, this is a positive, huh, JV?
Yes, I would run at the ugly roofs.
I run at
want
them.
the ugly ones. The uglier, the better, because now this is a need they have to solve, whether they get solar or not. You can solve that problem, and you can roll that into the solar financing. And if you need standalone financing, we have that available as well. So we're trying to create every other avenue that you can use, every tool that you can use in your tool belt to land more deals. Stay tuned. We got some more exciting stuff to be able to help you with.
I was going to say, what, just on the topic of, yeah, if you're worried about, oh man, now it's the bigger quote and all that. Science has shown, they've done studies that the more problems you can solve, and actually with jobs that have a couple, I think it's up to 4 additional things combined into one, that's much more likely to stick than just backing off and being like, oh yeah, we can only do one or the
Yep.
other, whatever. Don't have that, oh, it's got to be black and white mentality. The more issues that you feel like, or that the homeowner feels like you're able to solve for them, that's a huge confidence booster, and that's going to be the number one driver that lets them ride out any bumps in the road with you.
I've done enough quotes too, Danny. Let's say you got a $400 average bill with the utility. When you pair roofing with solar, that if you get $400 equal to or less, you are creating a solution, because you can't call Edison, right? 1-800 free roof. And Edison answers and says, hey, yeah, I'll give you a free roof. We'll keep your utility bill up the same. Heck no, man.
In what world?
In what world are you living in? Now you can provide a solution, equal or lesser payment. Yeah. And it's all in one encompassed loan in that case. So anyways, JB, sorry. I get excited about it.
No, I love it. And again, there are some exciting things to come to where eventually you're going to be able to show what that roof would look like on its own. And so let's say instead of that $400 electric bill, now you have a $200 roof payment. That's the conversation. You soft close on that. You start talking, hey, some people that are really clever have done it this way. You get permission to pitch. You talk about the solar. Now it's $200 roof payment plus $400 electric bill. That's $600 conversation. Now, if you get roofing, it's $375. You look like a hero.
Yeah.
And so there are a million ways in which you can use this as a better avenue to really solve problems instead of showing up and talking exclusively about cost of electricity.
For sure. Diane had a really good question. Who are the standalone roof financiers? I believe it's Goodly.
Goodly, and we have a couple more that we're adding that are not officially added yet. I will not talk about Fight Club until y'all show up for the meeting.
Stay tuned.
And
But
okay, yeah,
so I was just going to say that all of our lenders outside of that, if you're pairing with solar, will allow for the roofing.
yes.
Okay.
We have our ways. So tile, we have been running a little bit of a pilot program. It's been successful, so we are now rolling it out. Tile that the threshold was 9 pounds of tile for standard size concrete tile. That has been lowered to 8 pounds, so compound is still required for lightweight tile, 8 pounds or less. 8 to 9 pound tile has been this weird middle ground where we still break tile. There's still problems after install. The solution, we switch to tile replacement flashings for all the attachment. We bring extra tiles. It's a much slower install because they're changing broken tiles as they go. But in the past, we tried that, but we weren't using tile replacement flashings. And what would happen is the tile hooks themselves would break the tiles after we left, and we wouldn't see until there's a problem. So now we're using the tile replacement flashings as well as bringing extra tile, changing as they break. So the added material and labor cost, it's a 20-cent adder. It's a minimal addition to the job to be able to avoid having to do roof work on a whole lot more jobs that fit in that 8 to 9 pound tile range. So that is now live. That is SOP. That should allow us to all to say yes more frequently. Again, I don't know what I don't know. I can't see what I can't see. So when something bothers you, please let us know. Therapy only works if you tell us what's going on. Please bitch and moan all you want. I don't mind. I need to hear it. I want to hear it. That's being a good partner. That's going to empower us to fix problems because we know about them.
Hazel had a really good question. What's the brand of roof material? How long is the workmanship warranty? I know you got these off the top of your head.
Ooh, I so have that on the top of my head. Let me share something real quick. All right. For caulk shingles, specifically, we're using Owens Corning. Almost exclusively. There are some weird, obscure areas of Cali, if we're like on the outskirts, it may be different, but almost everywhere we're using Owens Corning. And we're using the full Owens Corning roof system where we have Owens Corning underlayment. We have leak barrier added in the valleys around penetrations. We're using Owens Corning starter strip shingles, Owens Corning hip and ridge. It is a full system. It is not just going with the absolute cheapest stuff we can get. Most roofers, to be honest, 90% of the industry does, and I'm not mad at them. Materials are expensive. But this is a brochure that we're going to work into our proposal very shortly, where it talks about the standard warranty. So workmanship warranty is 10 years. You can go to Home Depot or Lowe's. Chuck with a truck could go Home Depot, Lowe's, buy a bundle of shingles, install them, and they come with a lifetime warranty from Owens Corning. What does that lifetime warranty mean? It means that it covers the shingles. It doesn't cover any of the other components because it's not the full roof system from Owens Corning, right? They're not going to cover XYZ brand, other accessories. So it covers the shingles, and their lifetime warranty is really only 100% for 10 years. After 10 years, it's prorated, and it only covers the shingles. So like best case scenario, every shingle on the roof has a manufacturer defect that needs to be replaced. They'll come and drop off a couple pallets of shingles. It doesn't cover labor. It doesn't cover disposal. It doesn't cover the other half of the roof material, underlayments, nails, permit costs, underlayment, leak barrier, hip and ridge, starter strip, any of that. So it's just the shingles, 100% for 10 years, prorated for life. And then the workmanship warranty is always on the installer, right? ESP, a little more stable than most roofers, just because of volume and size. Owens Corning is a Fortune 500 company. They make a living by betting on the right decisions, right? They don't expose themselves to risk needlessly. We are a preferred contractor for Owens Corning. We can offer an extended warranty with them called Preferred Protection. That means they back our workmanship for 10 years. That's the biggest. 99 out of 100 times if the roof leaks, it's because someone goofed up. It's not the material malfunction. If the roof leaks, it's almost always a workmanship warranty issue. And most roofers statistically are not going to be there in 10 years to fulfill that warranty. So having someone like Owens Corning back that warranty when their job is to assess risk and make wise choices, they're publicly traded. These guys don't miss, right? So the fact that they're betting on us and backing our workmanship means that we've been vetted enough with them for them to trust us with that. They're taking ownership of our workmanship for 10 years. And then the entire roof system, labor, materials, permits, everything is included for 50 years at 100%, and then prorated for life after that. So this is not just a back our workmanship warranty. It's not just 50 years instead of 10 years at 100%. It's a night and day difference, right? That scenario I told you about, instead of them dropping off a pallet of shingles, they would give you all the materials you need. They would cover labor. They would cover disposal. You get basically a full new roof. And a lot of places that get a lot of wind events and other things like that, they'll get a free roof out of this warranty. It's not uncommon. And this is fully transferable. So this huge value add, and that's something that we're building into the process. It costs a little bit to register the warranty, but not much. I think it's like 20 a square, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Like your knowledge of the roofing space is being expressed so well right here. Guys, if anybody is geeked out as I am right now with what JV is saying, like we have an opportunity for you to meet with him and do training. We'll discuss and do that here soon. I just want you to know that a lot of what I've learned over the past 5 years of being with ESP and JB comes from his knowledge. So
thank you. And you know what? I am dying to be able to train you guys and your teams anytime you need. Let me know. You can get a hold of us by emailing roofing@joinesp.com. Email us, ask us questions, ask us for whatever you need. If you need brochures, you need technical info, if you need training, we got all of that. We have training in the box loans for it. I can assign to you guys for free. I can assign to your teams for free. It'll teach you technical about roofs, teach you how to talk about roofs, teach you how to eyeball roofs, teach you how to sell roofs. And then you can also chat in with us real time. Let's say you're in a home and you got an issue on the calculator tool right now. Go to the bottom, start a conversation, put in your info, say, I need help, start a chat. And when the prompt comes up, it'll tell you what to do. Talk to an agent. When you click on talk to an agent, that comes to my team. And then we can help you real time with whatever you need. We can help you adjust or make a custom quote. We can help answer questions. If you're in a competitive situation and they're talking about gobbledygook and you have no idea what the hell they're talking about, you still want to have some clout and credibility and understand what gobbledygook means, you flack us and we'll help you. If you want to hop on a Zoom, just say, hey, could you have time for a quick Zoom call? If I do, great. I'll jump on a Zoom right then and there. If you talk to enough reps at ESP, you'll talk to some of them that I've hopped on a Zoom and helped them out. If there's anything I can possibly do to help you guys close a deal, be class on roof and get paid, we're going to do it. If it's gettable, we're going to get it. So please
to get to this link here. I see it up in the top.
Yeah.
link.
So roof.joinesp.com/calculator, or even better, go to the energy. What is it? The rep hub.
Yes, please.
joinesp.com/hub.
joinesp.com/hub. This is probably the best way because this link is changing. And you go to Roof Estimator tool, and that takes you right there. So go to the hub, Roof Estimator tool takes you right here. And we did have some glitches yesterday, and I found out about it. So thank you guys for letting us know. The roof quote tool was having some issues yesterday. We're constantly updating and improving it, changing prices, getting as aggressive as we can. So now we go in here and we put in a roof quote. It's back to working, right? So this is built to give you guys a very quick, easy way to build out a roof quote. And I want to show you a teaser, if you will, of the things we're working on that are coming very soon. When I say very soon, the 21st. So let's say I want a faster, easier way to measure a roof. Is that fast enough? And
Wait, did you just
Hold
do
on.
it? I wasn't even
Hold
looking. I
on.
was typing the Q&A. Did you? What?
no,
What?
it's a buddy of mine. His name is Artificial.
Artie?
Last name starts with an I. Artie, I can't remember. And so now you go and enter the homeowner name, and bada bing, bang, boom, we come out to the roof quote. And so it'll show you base price, and if there are additions to that, like permit cost. In this case, there's that warranty I was just talking about, the preferred protection plan. And that adds $460 for 23 squares. So again, $20 a square, but let's say your homeowner ain't buying it. I don't care about none of your warranties. I want cheapest price possible. Great. Uncheck that. You don't have to help them that much. You can help them just a little. And so then you scroll down here, it has real live widgets to show the street view and overhead and color palette here. You want to zoom in and look at a house. It'll show you the gallery photos. You can select that color. It shows you the breakdown of everything. This is a full-on proposal. This is what we were talking about earlier. If you want to know what that roof would cost on monthly payments, you have all of that right here. Live feed to ESP Roofing's Google reviews. And you can going to be able to email this quote to the homeowner, send a contract for signature. And if you need to have a consultation with me or someone on my team, you can schedule that live right here. And then send a contract for signature. When this goes live, the new SOP, instead of having the homeowner know, oh, we're going to do roof work, we got you, and having this weird, vague mystery box of roof work hanging out there that no one really had. We send you guys the email and the detailed roof quote, but that's not really a contract or a proposal. The idea is for you to share that with the homeowner, and that's supposed to be customer facing. Not every homeowner gets that. Not every homeowner remembers that. This is something you can send them, and we have documentation of exactly what we quoted and the color that they selected and all of that good stuff. And you send that contract out for signature, and it'll have a short roofing contract, not nearly as long as the solar contract with all its TSLB pages. It's just a short roofing contract, shows the scope of work, and it'll show if they're financing together with solar. It'll show if there's going to be, if they're paying cash for it or any of that. So this is extremely easy tool to use. There's also a way to measure it, which I would strongly encourage you guys to do. Analyze roof is great if you want to be, if there's multiple roof types. My friend Artie does not necessarily differentiate between roof types. So this is the address we were just looking at. And so some of you guys have used a tool like this before in a company that shall not be named. And it was pretty cool. We've improved on it. So you pick the roof, type in the roof pitch. What if I don't know the roof pitch? Great. We have a tool for that. You go here, you look at it on Street View. You click on the ridge, click on the edge. Boom. Hey, what if I have access issues with plywood? Yeah. What if I have access issues? I can't get a truck up to the house. What if it needs plywood? You just check the box. If you want to make some notes, you make some notes. Yes, we do roof tiles. Someone just asked that question. We're going to have all the types of roofing. We do coat shingle, overlay, tile lift and relay, comp out, new tile full replacement, rolled comp, silicone cool roof coatings, and TPO. So save that roof plane, and I'm going to add the second roof plane to the back, the flat roof. Never mind my dots. I may not be perfect here. The good thing about this tool, you don't have to be perfect. It's not.
It gets really complex, and I think JV, we can probably do this some additional training when they schedule that.
Yeah.
I want to add, what is really happening behind the scenes on the AI? It was so fast. What is AI doing for us? Because this how accurate and what is it doing, I guess?
So it is using it's compiling data from a couple of sources, Google Project Sunroof and several other measurement tools to gather the pitch and gather the two-dimensional square footage. So similar in how our other tool works, it's just Artie is doing the clicking for you and measuring a lot faster than we can. And they're using other sources to get the pitch and to determine what's a roof and what isn't a roof. A lot of AI tools will confuse a canopy in the backyard or a pergola or other things that aren't really a roof. And so it's constantly getting better and more decisive with it. The best method is always going to be draw the roof, because then it shows in the proposal. It'll show that drawn roof there. So we are going to constantly iterate and change and add things. This is going to get better and better. Right now, we're adding the finishing touches. The goal is to launch this July 21st, which is Monday after next. And this is hopefully going to give you guys more tools to use to grab attention, to earn clout and credibility in the home, to be able and empowered to start with the roof and then pivot and add solar. So way you can run at the ugly roofs. Stop treating the ugly roofs bad. Start giving them the love and TLC they need.
I always get the question of, can I make commission off the roof? Right? How does that work?
That is, Fight Club will be announced on the next FAQ. We haven't identified rules 3 through 10 on Fight Club. We just rolled no rule number 1 and 2 so far.
Okay. So I guess to answer the question beyond just roof folding solutions, if you were to pair this with a TPO product, guys, if you're out there doing solar plus roof, just know that your gross price per watt, you got to calculate the adder of the roof, and you can adjust that gross PPW in any fashion that you'd like to account for what commission you'd like to have earned, right? So and that's how that would work. So you are in control of your own destination in that sense. I do see a good question from Michael Nelson. Thanks for asking. JB, if a customer needs a fire vent replaced, can we or do we do that when we do a new roof?
I'm not quite sure what a fire vent is. If you're
Maybe-
talking about a heating furnace vent, something like that.
Maybe let's start with a T vent and then maybe a plug vent.
Yeah. So they have like exhaust vents that come from furnaces in the attic. Those are tall stacks that usually are like 3 feet tall and have a little spark arrestor cap on top. And yeah, those get replaced. Any standard flashing or vent gets replaced as part of the roof process. Other vents like attic vents, like dormer vents or O'Hagan vents, if those are custom or gigantic, like bigger than 24 inches, then we reuse them because they're not standard vents. If they are small enough to be considered standard vents, those get replaced typically with the reuse. And we're typically changing those dormer vents that look like a half moon type thing. Those are replaced with low profile O'Hagan vents. They do the same job. They just look better, sleeker, lower profile. Yes, you can do just roof surfaces. So with the draw the roof feature, like I was showing at the end, you can highlight roof planes and just the roof plane. Another thing, because you can do multiple roof surfaces and we have that checkbox to add plywood, let's say you have one section where the homeowners, I've had this happen before. Oh, there's a fire in that bedroom, put out, but everything in the attic got burned. And then you change plywood. You want to get ahead of change orders and stuff like that. You can do that, identify that, check plywood on that one roof, highlight the rest of the roof, do that without plywood. So it gives you a lot more versatility to customize using that draw the roof tool. And it's just way more accurate. AI is cool. It's perfect, right? So if you want to be perfect, use the draw the roof tool. That's what I would always encourage. One thing I would also mention too, like you guys are gonna have a million more questions as you start playing around and using this. So another pitch for that chat feature, jump into the chat, ask us for help, ask me for questions. If it's glitching, like this is software that we're building ourselves. It is very cool. It is awesome. It doesn't work perfectly 100% of the time. So please let us know. We can fix stuff on the fly. Please feedback. Let us be your wingman. I can't help what I don't know about. So scream and shout, bitch and moan. Let me know.
I got feedback. This is free, guys. You are not paying for this software that we are creating. Like as soon as this is done, we're just going to give it to you. It's going to help you guys in your process. And then JB, how many roofers out there do you know that provide quotes as professionalized as ESP?
This is the most specific quote tool that I've seen that can be made back quickly. No, like you could make this at the door. Like couple of seconds, clickety click. You can know before you walk up. And you can have a roof quote for someone when they answer the door. So that really, this is designed to be that quick and that usable in the field. And what obviously I'm biased, but the other features that we have built in there for like instant financing, instant credit approval, send a contract instantly right from there. And we're going to be adding other adders and things to add on other profitable upgrade and value add things that you can add to your pitch. I have yet to show this to anybody that's in the roofing industry that hasn't been really excited about it and understands the potential of where this can go. And we're throwing our backs into this. You have seen the tip of the iceberg. There's 100 times more than this behind the scenes that we're building out and that we're adding to this. No one sees. This is going to be a huge big thing. It's gonna grow and evolve and add some more things that'll be useful. I would also say that don't undervalue the chat feature, and we're hoping to get like a support hotline as well coming soon. That's not set in stone yet, but that's the goal. I want to offer unprecedented levels of sales support. You may know a roofer that's okay, but I guarantee you're not going to be able to have a Zoom call with that roofer with a homeowner when they hit you with 1,000 technical things. You're not going to be able to instantly chat with them. You're not going to be able to work with them as well as we can work with and support you guys. And I would also add, like, we're constantly adding to our deck of roof crews. So if you have a roofer out there that you had a good track record with, you want us to start using them, play matchmaker. We can talk to them, see if it's a good fit, and if we can fit them in our process. But
Yeah, we get approached. I'll second that. We get approached just randomly. Like people will come on our Facebook or our website, just fill out, hey, I'm interested. We work in this area. This is what we do. We'd love to partner with you. We vet those requests constantly, and we are looking for the cream of the crop. We are looking for, yeah, absolutely. So if you have people in your book of business, in your little black book of awesome people, you're a guy who does X, absolutely introduce them to us. We want to have those people in our repertoire. And yeah, as I'd also love to shout out, thanks Fabio for all this support from ESP at my preferred price, $3.90 free. So I would definitely, yeah, like Brandon, you said it. I would challenge you to go out of your way and try and find a company, a software platform, anything that does this level at this speed for this price.
and we
Wait.
Danny, one important thing, we haven't compromised some of our core operating values here on the back end that you guys may not know about. Things like change orders. Almost every roofer on the planet, change orders are a profit center. Meaning, if it costs them $20, $25 for a sheet of plywood, they're going to charge $100, $150. I've seen as high as $300 per sheet of plywood when they have people at gunpoint. Once they tear the roof off, they're going to change wood rot and wood repairs, and they have to be compliant with code and to pass inspection from the city. And they will use that to take advantage. And so they'll come in with a really low price, and they seem so attractive. You're like, oh my God, I'm saving this much money. And I'll revert back to what my mom would always say: I can't afford to save that much money. And what she means is that those roofers are going to come at you with massive change orders, and that is part of their operating process. So when we vet and we get roofers on board with our program, they are not allowed to have change orders as a profit center. So we have less occurrences of change orders than most roofers have. And when we do have change orders, it's a cost of material, like a labor material cost basis. I make sure they don't lose, they break even, they cover their costs, but it's a fair price. And so I felt bad for one of our sales partners last week. They have a $10,000 change order from a roofer that they were working with, and we don't have them on our program. We don't have that leverage to go in and negotiate. I've had similar instances with our own vetted roofers where they said, hey, look, normally this will be 10,000. We work with it. After we take out what would have been their profit, their real hard costs, labor and materials, are about $7,000, right? So right there's a $3,000 savings, and we have always absorbed as much as we can in change orders, so that cost doesn't get passed along to the rep and the homeowner. People don't see how often we're covering those change order costs, but right now, 92% of our jobs have absolutely zero change order costs. 92%. So the 8% that do have change order costs, I'll use that same example, 10,000 negotiated down to 7,000. We covered 5,000 and the rep ended up paying 3,000. And that was like by far, hands down by a mile, the largest change order we've encountered. That almost never, twice I've seen change orders that big. And so that's a great example of, like, instead of a massive mountain of a change order, now you go to the homeowner, and if and when that 8% of the time, if and when there is a change order that's passed along, the average is under $1,000 when we do pass along change orders. And so that means we've negotiated down, we've covered a whole bunch, and there's a fraction left that we're not able to cover that's passed along. And you can either cover that out of commission or you resign the homeowner and get that covered. But either way, you're positioned to go to the homeowner and be the hero. We send out those emails with photos, with a description of everything. So you can have that conversation with the homeowner, say, hey, look, here's what it was. Here's what it is now. Either way, you're the hero. And that's a good experience instead of a bad experience.
That's a massive thing. So
yeah. Lots of passion, lots of knowledge. I'm excited
right here.
So
this link, if you want all this knowledge and more at your fingertips, this link right here, we'll send it out to recap. It'll be all that. So yeah.
Thanks everybody for joining in. Yeah. JV, thanks for being our guest, man. That was awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Loved it. Have a great weekend, everybody. Happy selling. We're here for you.
Woo!
See ya.